Habit 1. Live below your means. Hey everyone, let's kick things off with the first biblical habit that will help you thrive and attract a lot of money. And no, it doesn't have to be magical or complicated. Imagine this, you have a jar of candy. Every week, you get a new supply of candy. But if you eat it all at once, you won't have anything left for later, right? And what if one day you really want a candy and don't have any? You'd be pretty disappointed, wouldn't you? The same thing goes for money. The Bible teaches us to live below our means. This means spending less than you earn. Just like saving some candy for later, you save a bit of your money for the future. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man named Daniel. He worked hard and earned a good salary, but he always spent everything he made on things he didn't need. One day, Daniel realized that despite working so hard, he never had any money saved. He was worried because if an emergency happened, he wouldn't be prepared. So Daniel decided to change his approach. He started spending less than he earned. Instead of buying a new video game, he saved the money. Instead of eating out every day, he started cooking at home. And guess what? Over time, Daniel saw his money start to grow in his account. He felt more secure, happier, and more prepared for the future. So the lesson is simple. Spend less than you earn. This way, you create a financial cushion for tough times. And who knows, maybe even make your future dreams come true. Now, how about we start saving some candies for later? Let's do it. Habit 2. Diversify your income sources. All right, folks, let's dive into the second crucial biblical habit for thriving. Diversifying your sources of income. Let me break it down with a fun story. Picture this. You have an orchard full of fruit trees. One tree grows apples, another one grows oranges, and a third one bears mangoes. You love all these fruits, right? Now, imagine that one year, the apple tree doesn't produce any fruit. But no worries, because you still have oranges and mangoes to enjoy. And so, you keep munching on delicious fruits and stay happy. The same principle applies to money. If you rely on just one source of income, like the apple tree, and something goes wrong, you could find yourself in trouble. But if you have multiple sources of income, just like having a diverse orchard, you'll always have something to rely on. Let's talk about a character named Anna. Anna was a dedicated teacher, but realized that depending solely on her teaching salary wasn't enough for financial security. So, she decided to diversify her income sources. Since she loved cooking, she started selling delicious cakes on weekends. Additionally, Anna used her painting skills and began selling her artwork online. What happened? Anna now had 3 sources of income: her teaching salary, cake sales, and art sales. One day, during school vacation, she didn't receive her teaching salary, but that wasn't a problem because her cakes and paintings continued to sell. Anna discovered that having multiple income sources was like having that orchard full of trees. There was always fruit to harvest. So, the lesson is clear. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your income sources to ensure a more secure and opportunity-filled financial life. That way, if one tree doesn't bear fruit, you'll always have other options to harvest and thrive. So, who's ready to start planting different trees in their financial orchard? Let's get growing. Habit 3. Build an emergency fund. Let's move on to the third essential biblical habit for thriving and attracting wealth. Building an emergency fund. It might sound a bit tricky, but I promise it's quite straightforward. Imagine you're gearing up for a big camping trip. You know that weather can change suddenly and a storm might roll in. To prepare, you pack a raincoat and some extra clothes just in case you get caught in the rain. That raincoat is your reserve, a backup plan to ensure you stay dry and comfortable even if the weather turns bad. In financial terms, an emergency fund is just like that raincoat. You never know when unexpected expenses might come up. Medical bills, home repairs, or even an unforeseen opportunity. That's where having a financial safety net becomes crucial. Let me share a story about Paolo. He was a super organized guy, but never really thought about setting up an emergency fund. One day, his car broke down unexpectedly, and the repair was quite expensive. Paolo was really worried because he hadn't saved enough to cover the surprise expense. He had to borrow money and ended up being in debt for quite a while. After this experience, Paolo decided he didn't want to go through that again. He started setting aside a portion of his salary each month into a savings account, just like packing that raincoat for camping. Over time, he built up a solid emergency fund. A few months later, when his refrigerator broke down, he didn't stress out because he had his financial cushion. He simply used the money he had saved and bought a new fridge without needing loans or feeling anxious. What's the takeaway here? Life is full of surprises, and not all of them are pleasant. But if you prepare and build an emergency fund, you can handle unexpected events calmly and without panic. This way, you ensure financial stability and feel much more secure to face any storm that comes your way. So, how about starting to save a little from what you earn each month? It might seem small at first, but the key is to start. Your future raincoat will thank you. Let's embark on this journey of financial security and prosperity together. Enjoying the video? Give it a thumbs up and hit the like button. Your support helps us create more content to help you achieve financial success. Habit 4. Invest wisely. We've reached the fourth biblical habit for thriving and attracting wealth: investing wisely. It might sound like a complex idea, but it's actually something we can all grasp and apply in our lives. Imagine you have a handful of apple seeds. What would you do with them? If you simply put them in a drawer, they'd never grow into a tree, right? But if you plant those seeds in good soil, water them, and take care of them, eventually they'll grow into a big apple tree that produces lots of apples. Investing wisely is just like planting those seeds. Instead of letting your money sit idle in a place where it doesn't grow, you find ways to make it grow over time. This could be through investments in stocks, real estate, or even investing in education and learning to boost your skills. The key is to choose a good soil, meaning investments that have the potential to grow and multiply your resources. Let me share Clara's story. Clara was always careful with the money she earned, but she kept it all in a simple savings account. One day, she talked to a friend who explained the concept of investing. He shared how he had started investing in stocks and how it allowed him to grow his wealth over the years. Clara decided to learn more about it. She studied, took courses, and started to understand how to invest wisely. Over time, Clara bought shares in solid companies and invested in an interesting mutual fund. She didn't get rich overnight, but she saw her money grow much more than if it had just sat in the savings account. Today, Clara continues to manage her money well, but now she knows that, just like apple seeds, investments need time and care to grow. And that's how she watches her resources multiply, ensuring a more prosperous future for herself and her family. So, remember, investing wisely is like planting a seed. Choose the right soil, take good care of it, and with patience, you'll see your resources grow. And don't worry if you don't understand everything right away. The important thing is to start and learn gradually. How about thinking today about how you can start planting your seeds? Let's embark on this journey of growth and prosperity together. Habit 5. Seek wisdom continuously. Now let's dive into the fifth biblical habit for thriving and attracting wealth: seeking wisdom continuously. This habit is like having a superpower that helps us make smarter decisions in every aspect of our lives. Imagine you have a treasure map, but it's written in a language you don't understand. Even with the map in hand, if you can't read it, you won't be able to find the treasure, right? That's where wisdom comes in. It's like a key that helps us decipher the map of financial life and find the paths that lead to prosperity. Let me tell you about Felipe. He was a curious kid who loved learning about how things work. One day, he realized he didn't understand much about money. He saw his parents talking about bills and savings, but he wasn't quite sure what it all meant. Instead of ignoring it, Felipe decided he wanted to learn more. He started asking questions, read books about money, and even watched videos on financial education. Over time, Felipe learned about the importance of saving, investing, and planning for the future. He discovered that the more he knew, the better he could make smart decisions about his money. And you know what's fascinating? He found that the quest for wisdom is never-ending. There's always something new to learn, a new strategy to uncover, or a lesson to understand. So, what's the takeaway here? Seeking wisdom continuously is like preparing for a grand adventure. The more you learn, the more tools you have to handle the challenges that come your way. And the best part is, with the right knowledge, you can avoid many mistakes and seize incredible opportunities that arise. Let's follow Felipe's lead. Don't be afraid to ask questions, read a new book, watch a video, or talk to someone who knows more about the topic. Wisdom is a treasure you can carry with you forever. The more you seek to learn, the better prepared you'll be to prosper and attract wealth. And remember, the key to success is never stopping your quest for knowledge. Ready to seek wisdom with me? Let's go. Every step towards learning is a step towards prosperity. Have thoughts or questions about the video? Drop a comment below and let us know. We love hearing from you, and we'll do our best to respond to every comment. Habit 6. Practice generosity. Let's talk about a habit that might seem simple, but is incredibly powerful: practicing generosity. This habit is all about being kind and sharing what you have with others. And do you know why this is so important? Because generosity not only helps those who receive, but also transforms the life of the giver. Let me tell you a story. There was a girl named Clara. She loved playing with her friends at the park and always brought her favorite snack, an apple and a sandwich. One day, while playing, Clara saw a boy sitting alone, staring at the ground. He looked sad and his stomach was rumbling with hunger. Clara thought for a moment and decided to share her snack with him. She split the apple in half and gave a piece to the boy. He was so happy. That simple act of Clara made his day much better. Now, you might be wondering, what does this have to do with prosperity and money? Well, when you're generous, you're creating positive energy around you. People notice, feel touched, and often want to return that kindness. Plus, generosity makes us feel good inside. It's like our hearts become lighter and filled with joy. This feeling of happiness and satisfaction can motivate us to work harder, be more creative, and maybe even attract new opportunities. In the Bible, there's a saying, "It is more blessed to give than to receive." This doesn't mean you should give away everything you have, but that you should find ways to share and help others, even if it's just a little. Generosity doesn't only have to be with money. It can be with time, care, attention, or even a smile. And here's the most amazing part. When you're generous, you often end up receiving back in ways you never expected. It's like planting seeds of kindness that later grow into beautiful trees full of fruit. Clara, for example, made a new friend that day in the park, and that friend brought a lot of joy into her life. So, how about we start practicing generosity today? Let's make a kind gesture, even if it's small, because when we give, we receive much more than we can imagine. And that's how we begin to attract prosperity and happiness into our lives. Habit 7, exercise financial patience. Have you ever heard the saying, haste makes waste? When it comes to money and prosperity, this saying is spot on. The next crucial habit is to exercise financial patience. This means learning to wait for the right time to see the results of your efforts and investments. Imagine you've planted a tiny seed in your garden. Every day, you go out and check the soil, eager to see the little plant grow. But most days, you don't see anything happening. It seems like nothing is changing, right? But the truth is, beneath the soil, that tiny seed is working hard. It's developing strong roots and preparing to break through the surface. If you are patient and continue taking care of it, watering it and letting the sun shine, you will soon see the plant growing, strong and healthy. The same thing happens with money and investments. When you invest your money, whether in savings, stocks, or a business, it's like planting a seed. At first, it might seem like nothing is happening. But if you're patient and let time do its job, you'll see your resources grow and multiply. Let me tell you about Joao. He started working at a young age and made a habit of saving a portion of his salary every month. Instead of spending all his money on toys or sweets, he always set aside a little and put it in his piggy bank. As he got older, Joao learned about investing and began putting that saved money into investments. At first, he was a bit frustrated because his money didn't seem to be growing as quickly as he hoped. But Joao remembered a piece of advice his grandfather had given him. Be patient, my grandson. Time is a great friend to investors. So, Joao waited. Years passed, and when he looked at his investments again, he was amazed. His money had grown significantly. He understood that patience was key to achieving his dreams and goals. Financial patience is about trusting the process and understanding that good things take time. Often, we want immediate results, but it's important to remember that true financial growth happens slowly and steadily. Just like the tiny plant that grows little by little, our investments need time to develop and bear fruit. So, don't despair if it seems like your efforts aren't paying off just yet. Keep nurturing your seeds, make smart choices, and most importantly, be patient. Because, just like Joao, you'll see that with time, your dreams can become a reality. And that's true prosperity. Enjoyed the video and want more tips on financial success? Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest content. Don't miss out on our upcoming videos and keep progressing on your path to prosperity. Habit 8. Avoid unnecessary debt. Let's dive into an essential habit for maintaining a healthy financial life. Avoiding unnecessary debt. This might sound straightforward, but it's crucial for long-term prosperity. So, what does it really mean? Picture this. You're walking down the street, and you see a store full of amazing toys or a fast food joint with your favorite treat. It's tempting to spend every penny you have, or even use your credit card to buy what you want. But is it worth it? Let's explore this with a story. Meet Pedro, a very smart kid who loves buying new things. Every time he sees something he likes, he uses his dad's credit card without thinking much about the consequences. At first, it's all fun and games. He buys toys, games, and new clothes. But soon, Pedro's dad starts receiving letters from the bank saying he owes a lot of money and needs to pay it off quickly. Pedro didn't realize that each time he used the credit card, he was actually borrowing money that he would need to pay back with interest, meaning he ended up paying even more than the original price. Pedro began to notice that because of these debts, he and his family had less money for other important things, like outings or saving for the future. That's when he understood that impulsive buying and using credit without thinking can lead to big problems. Just like Pedro learned, it's crucial to avoid getting into unnecessary debt. This doesn't mean you can never buy what you like, but it's about doing it with care and planning. If we're always spending more than we can afford, we end up creating a snowball of debt that can grow quickly and get out of control. Think of credit as a tool. It can be very helpful in emergencies or for purchasing something truly important, but it should be used wisely. If we use credit responsibly, considering what we really need and planning how to pay it back, we can avoid the headaches that come with unnecessary debt. So, here's the secret. Before swiping that credit card, ask yourself if you really need that purchase or if you can wait and save up for it later. This simple act of thinking before spending makes a huge difference in your financial life. Remember, being financially smart is knowing the value of what you have and how to use it best. By doing so, you can build a prosperous and worry-free future.